I left New York City 7 months ago with no job, no income, no plan. And I came to Southeast Asia with 600 US dollars total to my name in my account. And I had a 1 month place booked and I had a flight booked. And then $600, and that's it. Now, what I did have was an Instagram account with 40,000 followers from being a tattoo artist. Spent 5 years as a tattoo artist in New York, taking private appointments through Instagram, no walk-ins, just strictly private appointments. So I had built this following, right? Built 40-something thousand followers. And I thought, okay, I need to find a way to make money with this account. That's all I have at the moment. And from there, I decided to keep making tattoo designs, keep booking in NYC, and have somebody else do the tattoos and take a cut from that, take a percentage. And that's what I did to sustain myself and survive, just barely get by for months. This is 7 months ago, around November. And so I started in Thailand due to affordability, due to already knowing the lay of the land. And yeah, I stayed there for a few months. But very quickly I decided to start a YouTube channel. You know, I've been watching YouTube vloggers for as long as I can remember, probably since, at the very least, since the beginning of the pandemic. I'd say is when it took off, is when I was stuck inside and, you know, really craving to travel, really craving to be back in Southeast Asia. And I was watching these YouTube vloggers blow up, watch their channel blow up, watch them, you know, go from making no money to making a full-time income on YouTube. And so I thought, why not? Why can't I do it as well? You know, it's gotten competitive. You know, there's so many people doing it now, but it doesn't matter, right? Many people doing it who have no charisma, no personality, no anything, right? They're just going around to tourist areas and showing the area. You know, it's not really the type of vlogs that I like to watch, but that's a lot of what happens. It's a lot of what's going on. So I thought, okay, maybe I can get on camera and I can do something. I can make it a little bit interesting. And I don't even care about going to different tourist attractions and touristic places. I usually don't even do that. It's not what I like to do. As much as I like Southeast Asia, I love Malaysia, I love Thailand. I just kind of like staying here. I like living here like a normal life, essentially. You know, I just prefer it. And so I thought, how can I do that and still make content, still grow, and still turn this into a full-time income? And that's been the last 7 months, my journey. It's what I've been working towards. Uploading every single day, new vlog every single day, which is not easy. But that was the goal I set out on, and now 7 months later, we are doing much, much better. You know, I went from having enough money for 2 or 3 days. The next 2 or 3 days I could have a hotel paid for, and I had food, and that's about it. And I didn't really know when my next money was coming. I never knew when I would get another tattoo booking on Instagram. So there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of rough, difficult times. You know, not an easy journey, not at all. Several times I've gone broke during this journey and either had to ask my following on Instagram and YouTube for some donations, just hoping to get by. And thankfully, some of you were very, very, very helpful and, you know, truly got me through the difficult time. Had to reach out to friends, family, and, you know, ask for a little bit of money to pay for a hotel for a few days, to get some meals, to get, you know, to survive, basically, which became harder and harder for me to do. You know, it was a little bit, it was difficult. Although I always knew 100% deep down, or I knew for sure that it was going to work out and it was just a matter of time. But with YouTube, you know, you don't start getting paid right away. You have to put in a good amount of work, a lot of work, unless you happen to just pop off, go crazy viral. You need to put in serious work before you see any money at all. before you even start really seeing views, before you start seeing engagement, it's like, it's grueling, especially if you don't have money to survive, if you don't have a job. So that was probably the hardest part. And so I had left Thailand and I went to Indonesia. I went to Bali, right? I wanted to reset my visa, change the environment. I decided, okay, Bali, I used to live there for 2 years. I know it's pretty cheap. I know places I can stay and how I can get by cheaply. So I decided just to go for a week or two. And I arrived and I tried to leave a week later. I was not a fan. Bali has changed a lot. It was super busy and crazy and it was expensive. It was the holiday time, like December holiday, January. And I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go back to Thailand or somewhere cheap and somewhere that I can be a little happier. And yeah, I tried to leave. I bought my flight. I booked a 1-month Airbnb in Thailand with pretty much all of my money. And they did not let me leave. They told me, your passport is expiring within 6 months. And so you cannot fly. You have to renew your passport here in Bali. And so I couldn't get a refund for the flight. I could not get a refund for my Airbnb. And I'm now stuck in Bali with no passport. Difficult, difficult. And so I go pretty much immediately to apply for the new passport. Go to the US consulate, and go through the process to get a new passport. They tell me it's gonna take 4 weeks, that it could be delayed because of the holidays. And so that was already a tough pill for me to swallow. That was already very hard for me to accept, that I had to now stay there for 1 month. And, I had already spent the money to live in Thailand for that next month. And so that was like the biggest roadblock and hurdle I had to deal with on this whole journey. It was the toughest thing. On top of this, my content had just started doing quite well in Thailand. I just started to pick up some steam. And when I started to do content in Bali, it was not doing well. I was not getting views, no engagement, like 10 times less views, right? Barely gaining subscribers as I'm trying to hit that milestone, trying to get 1,000 subscribers so I can start monetizing my channel, making some money. And hit a roadblock. So I'm still doing content every day in Bali. You could still go back on my channel and see the videos I'm talking about. It was not bad content. But I just didn't have an audience. People were not that interested. And it was tough. And so 4 weeks go by, 4 grueling weeks. I'm grinding on Instagram, making some bookings, few tattoo bookings here and there. Went broke a few times. Like I said, had to get some help. Now, I don't have a family who makes a lot of money that I can just reach out to for money. It's not like that. My parents struggle harder than me, or at least as much as me, I will say. And so, thankfully I was able to get through that time and make it to the end of the 4 weeks. And I thought, okay, finally, I can go back to Thailand and I have enough money. And the passport didn't come yet. And they kept telling me, sorry, it didn't arrive yet. It's delayed because of the holidays. So 6 weeks go by. It's now 6 weeks total. No passport. And, I'm growing frustrated because I both didn't want to be there and because my freedom was now gone. I had no option to leave, to travel anywhere. The prices were so high with the holidays, and it was a tough time. It was a very tough time for me. I know it sounds ridiculous to some people. Oh, you're in paradise, you're in Bali. But it was, it went much deeper than that. So I just felt like I was stuck and I couldn't get to the milestone I needed to get monetized at that point, and I was stuck. And so finally, just after around 6.5 weeks, the passport comes in. It's a huge relief for me. and I decide right away, okay, I'm gonna go back to Thailand, book a 1 month Airbnb. At the time, now I was able to get Airbnbs for around 275 US dollars in Pattaya in Thailand, by the beach, with a kitchen. And so I was like, okay, I need to do this. I have only a few $100s, and this is my best option. So I got back to Thailand. I keep grinding. I'm spending hours a day on Instagram and making designs and still vlogging every single day. And I finally hit that goal of 1,000 subscribers. I'm lucky because usually people hit the subscriber goal, but you still need thousands of hours of watch time on your videos. I'm lucky, but also it was calculated that my videos are long. I make long videos. So I had hit the watch time requirement of 4,000 hours well before I even hit 1,000 subscribers. And so that wasn't a problem for me. But yeah, I hit that point, and I thought, okay, I've made it. I've made it to the first step of this journey to become full-time and actually survive and live a decent life, you know. Things were still relatively slow, but I started to pick up steam. I started to really pick up steam in Thailand. And, you know, my videos then started to average 2,000, 3,000, sometimes hitting 5,000 on a video on YouTube. And I had to leave, reset my visa. It was time to go, you know. I only get 2 months there. Yeah. Hey. Sorry. So had to leave. I decided to come to Malaysia. Sorry, I wanted to say hi to them. I also lost my train of thought. Difficult. But anyways, came to Malaysia, decided, okay, I found like the cheapest flight possible, which was to come here, come to Kuala Lumpur. I thought, okay, I'll stay at least a few days. Maybe I will stay 1 week, you know, let's see how it is. I watched some vlogs about it, and it looked like a cool city. It looked like, somewhere I could see myself staying for at least a week, you know. And I arrived here, and as soon as I went and checked into my hotel, I left my bags. I was staying, you know, next to KL Central. I knew nothing about the city, knew nothing about the culture, you know, nothing. I didn't even know that it was a mix of, you know, I didn't know Malaysians were Indian, Chinese, and Malay. I had no idea. I thought Malaysian was just Malaysian. I didn't know anything. And I started to record on day one, you know, maybe 5 p.m., 6 p.m., you know, it's before it gets dark. I thought, let me just do a first impressions video tonight. You know, let's not waste any time, right? And so I made that first video here. And, you know, it was fairly long, 40 minute video or something like that. But I didn't put much thought into it. I just literally walked outside, started walked around Little India, walked in New Central Mall. You know, honest first impression. I didn't know anything, you know, I didn't know the area, nothing. And that video right away, very quickly, by the next day, it was my best performing video by two times. You know, I think there was 8,000 views by the next day or something. I'd have to really check the details, but something where I was like, oh wow, like very shocked, you know, a lot of comments, a lot of likes. And very quickly, you know, it started to continue to rise, 10K, 15K views. And the second day, you know, I decided I'm going to keep up the daily vlogs, you know, I'm not going to stop. And I continued. I didn't know the next day was, I think I made a vlog. It was like, this is why I love Malaysia after just 24 hours. That was the title. And it was pretty much me going around in Chinatown, you know, going to a food spot that I found, Dilla restaurant. I still go there all the time, go there almost daily. Amazing, like Malay food. I put that on camera, I got lucky where some interesting stuff was happening in public. That's still like a good vlog. Go back and watch that if you never saw that one. But had some interesting stuff happen and it just worked out well. And so the second vlog also did really well, views quickly. You know, first video is at that point getting 15 to 20,000 views. It's still going. And now usually my videos in Thailand, they would do well in the first 24 hours, and then typically the views would stop. You know, they won't keep getting views. And that's just how it went for me. Sorry, I'm walking in like a bit of a circle, walking all over because there's so many people in some areas here taking photos and stuff, and like saying hello to me and stuff. And I'm just trying to stay away right now and make this video. That's why it looks like I'm walking in a freaking circle. But yeah, you know, so it kept getting views, kept getting engagement. And I just continued this day after day, making a new video, kind of taking comments heavily into consideration to figure out where to actually film and what to do here, where to make content, trying to quickly learn about the culture. And, you know, I always, my strong suit was always making these topical videos and kind of trying to talk a little in depth about my perspective of a place, maybe my, you know, versus USA versus New York City, or yeah, just my perception of something. And those were my best performing videos. And so in order to make those videos, I need to know something. I need to know a bit about the city, a bit about the culture, the people, or else I can't really, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about otherwise. And so I was able to do those really well in Thailand. And so initially I'm just going to different spots, you know, the botanical garden. I'm going to different areas, and I'm doing more content of like showing an area, but still talking a bit. But you know, that just continued to develop, and I started to learn a lot more about this place, especially Kuala Lumpur, where I spent most of my time initially. And yeah, things continue to grow. You know, the channel started to grow more and more and more. The daily subscribers, instead of gaining 2 subscribers, 5 subscribers, 6, I started to gain 10, 15, 20. And then I had some videos do well, and I started to gain 50, you know, a day. I started to think, okay, I'm onto something here, or the people here are really enjoying the content. They understand the content. You know, the English speaking audience, it's powerful. It's, you know, people actually understand what I'm saying. You know, again, I go in depth about things. I sometimes, you know, it's not such surface level discussion. And so Thai people, for example, don't understand what I'm talking about. You know, they can use automatic subtitles all they want. You know, they're not going to figure it out. And so, yeah, I went from having a US audience, European audience, Australian audience, to a primarily Malaysian audience that continued to grow and continues to grow now, you know. And, you know, now we're hitting essentially 5,000 subscribers. That's, you know, almost today, I think it's 4950, something like that. And I'm gaining, you know, often 100 per day. And so to me, that's strong, it's powerful. And I'm thrilled about it. You know, I'm really thrilled about it. I'm thrilled that you guys are really enjoying the content. You guys are engaging with the videos. You guys are, you know, commenting about things that are very helpful, you know, helping me learn about the country and the people, where to go. I know I don't often respond to them. I try, but I do read the comments. But yeah, I'm really grateful for this Malaysian audience that I've built, and for this country in general. And I've really enjoyed my time here, even besides YouTube, you know, besides any of this, besides the views. But now, so I'm at a point that, yeah, I do have an income, and essentially I do have a job and a plan. You know, my plan is to continue growing the channel. My income has gone from, I'd say 700, 800 US dollars when I first came to Southeast Asia, to now at least double, you know, probably around 1,500 US dollars. And I remember just making a video probably 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. And it was my Malaysia versus USA Honest Opinions video. This video now has almost 100,000 views. One of my best videos, right? But when I made that video, I mentioned, like, I have $1,000 a month income, 1,000 US dollars. And that was true. And now just a few weeks later, you know, that's more around 1,500 between YouTube and my other Instagram. selling the tattoo designs. So yeah, it makes me happy, and it makes me glad that I got through what I feel is the most difficult part of this journey of becoming a full-time vlogger, YouTuber, you know, more so being able to live a decent life, being able to have freedom to go where I want to, live where I want to, live in Southeast Asia. You know, I feel like I had the idea in my mind, I had the goal and the vision in my mind, and it's coming to fruition. And yeah, that's it. You know, this video is mostly meant to give you a bit of insight into this whole thing, how I came to be where I am today, at least from the last 7 months, at least since I left the US, since I left New York. Yeah, I regularly get comments about like, how are you making money? How are you surviving? You know, do you have a job? You know, are you rich? You know, I am American, so there's a lot of assumptions about maybe I come from a rich family, maybe I have parents are paying for my rent and everything, or whatever it is. So I wanted to clear it up. I wanted to talk about the whole thing. And so here I am in Kuala Lumpur, 7 months later, and yeah, I want to see where things are in another 6 months. You know, I want to make another video like this at the end of 2024 and see, yeah, what's changed. Where's my income at then? You know, am I still basing myself primarily in Malaysia? You know, I never wanted to become, and I still don't want to be, a Malaysian only content channel, or any one country. You know, I don't want to be in any one country making content for only one type of person. I'd like to really have the freedom to go anywhere, build an audience that is a huge mix of countries, and an audience who can appreciate my content wherever I go, for the most part. You know, I understand that a lot of Malaysians just want to watch content from Malaysia. Same goes for many other countries. You know, if I would have went to the Philippines and started building that audience, I'd have an audience that wants to see Philippines-based content. So it applies no matter what. For a YouTube vlogger, a travel vlogger, that's how it goes. And so for that reason, I don't want to, it's the main reason I don't want to just stay here, and I want to hit some other countries relatively frequently and just come back here as a base. You know, since I'm very comfortable here, I do have a Malaysian audience. And so that's my plan going forward. You know, it's actually not really a desire to like, oh, I need to get out of Malaysia. It's more like, oh, I don't want to pigeonhole myself too hard into this corner of needing to, feeling like I need to stay here in order to continue earning a living, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, my plans are, you know, travel to Vietnam, travel to India, hit the rest of Southeast Asia that I've not seen. You know, Cambodia, I'd love to visit. I'd love to visit places like Taipei and Japan and, you know, Korea, many places. And as my income grows, I will be able to go places outside of Southeast Asia. For now, I'm mostly contained to Southeast Asia because it's affordable. Hotels are affordable. Airbnbs, condos are pretty affordable. And even going somewhere like Taipei, it's not going to be so affordable to stay in hotels. You know, I could go for 3 days or something like that and take a trip, but I can't go there for, you know, several weeks and afford it. I would go broke. Similarly to Japan, you know, it's gotten more affordable, especially, yeah, because the currency. And flights aren't bad. Same to South Korea, flights aren't too bad. But at the end of the day, actually sustaining myself there might be difficult. And so for now, I'm gonna stick to Southeast Asia. I'm gonna still spend a lot of time in Malaysia. I'm gonna keep coming back here. You know, let's say I go to Vietnam for 2 weeks. After that, I would probably come back to Kuala Lumpur for a week, 2 weeks. Have a little reset, you know, make content here every day, and then pick the next destination. You know, that's a loose plan of how I want to do things going forward. So yeah, I really appreciate all of you watching. I really do. Commenting, you know, people who've donated to me on Buy Me a Coffee. I always have that link in the description if you do want to support. I appreciate it. But I just appreciate you watching, you know, I really do. Oh, look how we can end this video with a absolutely adorable cat, little kitten. But yeah, drop a thumbs up, please. I'd really appreciate it. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I will see you in tomorrow's vlog.